Long over here from the Poultry People. We're going to be looking at evolution stuff again. Saw a post on the woodworking group this morning saying I want to put a woodworking only blade on my evolution, and what's out there, do I have to use the reducers and all the rest of it. And then I remembered that a while ago Evolution had sent me one of their wood cutting blades. It's wood only. You'd have to be really careful if you're going to be using reclaimed timber that there were no nails in it at all, because the nails will break the teeth on these. It's one reason I haven't fitted it, because everything I use is normally on reclaimed wood and there's usually some sort of nails in it. Or I'm actually cutting steel and I need a steel cutting blade on it, the multi-cut blade on there, so it'll cut the steel and then I can cut with wood. And I don't have that many issues as well about finish quality, because I always finish off, if there's an end showing, it'll be sanded anyway, so any machine marks will be cut out of it. So I'm quite happy with these, but I thought I would have a look at this blade anyway and see how well it does. Get it to the light here. So it's suitable for the 10-inch 255, 25.4mm bore. That's quite an important number, that. If you're going to use another blade by Saxon or something like that, the internal bore is 25.4mm, so then you have to have a reducer down to the bore size that you have on your other make of saw, or your Evolution. No, if you want a Saxon blade, you have to have a reducer that takes it to 25.4mm. So of course it has to be a larger size hole in the first place. It's a bit strange. But anyway, we'll get this out and we'll give it some test cuts and we'll see what the quality's like. I'm going to use the F255 over here. That's now going to be my wood only cutting saw, and I'll leave the old R255 there with a multi-cut saw blade on it, so I'll use that for the steel. So I'll just have to remember not to do any steel cutting on this bad boy, because I'll wreck my blade. I'll probably wreck it anyway. I used to be a sod back in the day when I had regular blades and we didn't have these multi-cuts. I'd always be damaging these on reclaimed timber, so I'll have to be exceptionally careful on this one. I don't do the blade in. It is, it's the wrong way. I was actually tightening it up. Make sure it's unplugged from the mains while you're doing this. You don't want to accidentally get it going on. Right, so there's the old blade. There's our rotational arrow. So the blade comes round this way. And there'll be an arrow, there's a corresponding arrow on here. So it goes on like that. Turns that way. These teeth are digging down into the wood. Extend the life of your saw blade. Always read the instructions supplied with the machinery. Use the correct blade for the particular material being cut. Using an incorrect blade may invalidate your warranty. I saw something the other day about someone kicking off that their blade hadn't lasted 5 minutes because they were cutting laminate with it. Artificial floorboard stuff, laminate flooring. That stuff is covered with all sorts of, like a fucking glue abrasive or something. I had a read about it. If you're going to be cutting laminate flooring, you need to buy a laminate flooring cutting blade. Apparently they blunt the blades. Well, they do blunt the blades. Somebody was kicking off about it, saying the blade hadn't lasted long because they're cutting laminate flooring with it. Ensure the blade is fastened tightly in the flanges using the spindle lock to hold in place. Do not over tighten and cause damage. Check that the spindle lock is disengaged before use. Do not attempt to cut material until the blade is up to full speed. You get it up to full speed and then move it down and into the wood. Not when it's going, don't put it into the wood then, because it puts extra strain on the motor as well. Ensure the material is fully secured. Ensure machine is serviced regularly and adjusted before each use. Always ensure the blade is running at the correct speed and is the correct size for the machine. Okay, so you wouldn't put a small blade on here, and likewise you wouldn't be able to put a large blade on differently. If any fault is found with either the machine or blade, contact your dealer immediately. Do not continue to use it. It may be dangerous and invalidate your warranty. All fairly common stuff. Ultimate blade technology. CCT tooth configuration enables fast, efficient cuts. High grade carbide teeth offering increased durability. Hardened carbide body ensures the blade runs true for longer. You can get these blades in a 7¼ inch as well as a 10-inch and a 14-inch. Oh, that'd be a whopper. Right, let's get this fitted. Close-ups of it. It's clockwise to undo it, anti-clockwise to wind it up. And I found that to be quite tight, so I used, you should have one of these anyway, if you, they're only a few quid, well worth picking up. Buy one in metric and imperial. Right, let's find some wood to cut. What have we got? This is the one I did from last week, where I was testing out the multi-cut blade and we did those couple of burns. Let's see that, let's try that again. Power it up. That's much better. You see that alright? There's just a world of difference there. It felt really effortless cutting through the timber as well. I'll bring it over to the light. I've not sanded it off or anything, apart from gently rub it with my hand. Just rub my hands over it. Saying that, my hands are like sandpaper. But the cut itself is a brand new saw blade. Remember, hasn't really done any work yet. That's pretty good. Yeah, look how thin that is. That's really smooth. There's a bit of tear there. Try some trenching. Very smooth, accurate, neat. It's as good as I can get it normally. Nice. Not bad. It's a bit thick. You know, it's overly thick. But it did quite a nice job ripping on the cross grain, ripping with the grain. I don't know what I'll use that for. Maybe drill a hole in it, call it a tea light. That's quite a nice respectable cut. It's wet as well, this timber, it's not exactly dry. Some woodworm living in that. Nice bit of oak. Nice bit of bark. So there you are. If you're thinking of getting a wood cutting blade for your Evolution, wood only, no steel, you want better cuts, then this is the quality of the cut that you'll get off the saw. I shagged that up there, idiot boy. I mean, this is wet wood. This is dry wood that's been in the shed a while. Will that focus in? Focus in. There we go. So that's going against the grain. This is going with the grain here. Got a thicker piece of that. Nice piece of hardwood here. Quite heavy, I'm not too sure what it is.